Hello, all of YouTube and my broadcasting class, which I make this for, like most of my other videos. Alright, sorry if you heard that, that was my phone going off. What I'm going to do in this how-to video is show you how to make a character in the Pathfinder role-playing game. Just some quick things before I get started. First off, I want to do this because Pathfinder has been gaining some popularity, as I've noticed recently. I actually do have my own campaign going with some of my friends, which I do want to get some videos of that on YouTube, where I am DM, GM, whatever, same basic thing. For those of you that don't know, that means Dungeon Master or Game Master, same thing, the person who controls it. Now. Oh, whoa, why is the 56 on there? Sorry about that. Now, for this, I'm going to just show you how to make a basic level 1 character. Depending on your Game Master, he may have you start later, he may actually have you start at level 5, like I do. So, first off, so for now, let's jump in. What you're going to, for those of you that are doing this as a guide and are joining me in actually what they're in the actual process itself, for this you're going to need a D20. Let me just flip the. You're going to need a D20, a D12, a D10, D8. D means die, and the number means how many sides it has. A D4, D6, and a percentile die, which to me is really just a different color D10. Mine's just different color too, so I know which one it is. So, let's start with this upper corner here. Starting off, first thing we should sort out, our race. Because I want this to be an easy to follow guide, I will only go off the core rulebook and not the expanded or advanced stuff, just the core book, just so it's easy to follow along. Let's go human. I don't really play humans much. So race, human. Now, first off, male or female. I am a male, and it's kind of weird if I play anything else, so we're going to put male for gender. Now, another thing you'll see here is size. It's kind of hard for you to see that, isn't it? Right there, size. Size is really, that's not your actual height. That's like the, that is the size classification, like small, medium, large, etc. Humans are medium, so we put M. Age, we'll get to that when you get to the class. Character level is also with that. Right now, let's actually get a name, because a lot of the stuff depends on your class. So I have the book in front of me on form of a laptop, which is fantastic for my, for what I want. So let's go to human on my handy dandy laptop. There we go. Alright. So, names. It does not give you recommended names like every other race because we're human. And just because this is on my channel for YouTube, I'm just gonna say character name is Steak. Sorry if it's sloppy, I'm writing at an angle. Character level and alignment. Actually, before we do that, there's a little box up here that says player. That's for you. Just sign your name up there so people know that it's your character. Now, going into this, we need to pick a class. Because I'm making this as a quick how-to video, I want to choose a class that's easy to get into and easy to play. So you're not going to see sorcerer or wizard. Let's go fighter. Fighter is a very good basic class. It actually gets a lot of combat bonuses. Now, we're assuming that you're starting at level 1, so we'll just put a 1 right by that. I know it kind of looks like a 7, and I'm sorry. That didn't help much. Okay, so, Now the alignment. In Pathfinder and Dungeons and Dragons, there are 9 alignments. There is lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, true neutral. Then there is chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, and chaotic evil. Each of those represents going from a scale of like God, nice, to Hitler. No, Satan. It represents your morality. In this case, as a fighter, a good one for all around is usually chaotic good. It's kind of like, it basically means that you will do the right thing, but you're gonna do it your own way. Like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. I would put him as chaotic good. Your deity and your homeland, you're gonna have to talk to your DM about those, because both of those may or may not be required for the game you're in. In this case, we're just gonna leave those out because there's no set map in Pathfinder. Now, let's go to the stuff where you find your age, height, and weight and stuff like that. So let me pull up the index here and get right there. It's on page 166. I love having it on laptop. I just love having it as a PDF. It's so quick, easy, and nice. I recommend getting them on the PDF format. Just don't pirate them. Please don't. Alright. You'll notice that in the book you actually do kind of skip around a fair bit. Okay. I found the table for age and stuff like that. Now, we are a fighter. So, for human, you take your base adulthood of 15 years, pretty dang young, and in this case, it says to add 1d6. So we roll for it. Roll a 5. So our fighter is 20 years old. For the height, it says a base height of 4 feet 10 inches. And you roll 2d10. Let's hope we're tall. 7, 8. Okay, we added 15 inches. So that means that we are, give me one moment because my brain is lagging today. We are 6'1". So we're decently tall. And we take those 2d10 rolls, which was 15, and for our weight, we multiply that by 5 and add 120. So we are 195 pounds. That's actually kind of fit for a 6'1" guy, something like that. Hair and eyes. In this case, let's just go off me and say for hair, brown, and eyes, brown. I'm pretty dang bland. The speed stuff, that depends on how you play the game. There are 2 ways to play it. You can do the board version, where there's actually a giant board set up. I don't like that version, and I don't know how to play that version. I do the paper and pencil route, and let people imagine it as they will. So speed, I'm sorry, but I have to ignore that for now, mainly because I don't know enough about it, because the way I play it is different. Now, we get to the real nitty-gritty kind of part. Your stat line and your hit points. Very, very important for the game. Now, different game masters will have different methods of rolling the dice for determining their characteristics. In my case, I let the players roll 4d6, re-roll all 1s and 2s, and they take the highest 3, giving them a number between 9 and 18. Now, just to give you an idea, the average stat for the normal method of rolling 3d6 is 9. That's the normal method, not the method I use. This is going off mine. The normal method of 3d6 gives you an average of 9. So right off the bat, your lowest stat will be average with the way I do it. And I love it when game masters do that. Let me get my dice so I can make this a little quicker. Alright, now, another thing I have seen is when people, they roll their stats 3 times each, and they take the highest column. Like, for instance, your first column might be like 15, 16, 17, 9, 9, 9. Your next one might be all 18s. You can choose whatever one you want, but you cannot mix and match. That's the way I do it, so that's the way we're going to roll for it. Take a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to speed this part up, just because I don't think you guys want to see me roll dice over and over and over again. So this part will likely be sped up, just for your convenience as I move that paper around. Yeah, here we go, scrap paper. Alright, so I'm back now and I've rolled the stats 3 times. I wish I could roll as good as this. I really do. Because this fighter, for the available numbers, rolled 2 18s, 3 17s, and a 15. That's fantastically good. So, where do we assign the stats? Fighters are frontline people. They don't need, like, charisma. The 3 stats that they really need are strength, dexterity, and constitution. Strength, of course, is how strong you are. Actually, it really only needs strength and constitution, because constitution is how healthy you are, dexterity, how agile, intelligence, obvious, wisdom, obvious, charisma, how much people like you. Excuse me. So, where do we assign them? The 2 important ones are going to be the 18s. So let's put those where we really need it. My phone went off again. So we have 2 18s there. Now, we need to figure out which one of these stats is our least important as a fighter. And that one will get the 15, which in this case is probably wisdom. Fighters don't need it, really. Wisdom is used for things like spells and sensing people and stuff like that. So you don't need that. So everything else, I'll make 17. Sorry that my hand's blocking the camera. I'm doing this at a really weird angle to try and get the paper as straight as I can. So this is a pretty dang good fighter. Now, every race has ability modifiers. Elves, for instance, get +2 to dexterity and +2 to intelligence, but a -2 to constitution. Humans, because of their versatility, get a +2 to any one stat. Now we gotta figure out where we're gonna put this. We could put it in their strength or constitution to make ourselves really strong or really hardy. We could put in dexterity and give ourselves a bit of a boost when it comes to agility, but there's not much use for that unless we're using like a longbow, or if we're trying to do a cool jump flip. Myself, I would be quite tempted to put that in intelligence, because intelligence determines our skill stuff over here, which I'll get to later. So I'm gonna put my +2 in intelligence. This is a permanent modifier. Once you do this, it cannot change. Our fighter is actually really nicely done in stats. Now,